right now, I am blessed to have
Who that?
one of Philly's legends.
Who are you looking at?
Bahamadia, man. God damn it. Hold on. What applause button? Hold on.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's a little correction, though. It's hip-hop.
It's hip-hop?
Hip-hop legend, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Correct me.
We can't be segregating ourselves, because everybody that contributed to hip-hop in Philly left an indelible mark on the whole industry of music. From the look, fashion, branding, all that.
Whoa.
And I know I had something to do with that, you know what I mean?
Damn, hell.
Yeah. This is hip-hop culture.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, too? It's so good to see you.
Hey,
I'm happy to be here.
Hey, I'm blessed, too. You know what I mean? Just doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that. But I see you got a little couple movements that you putting on right now. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, since I've been under the radar, out of the mainstream set, just working with disenfranchised youth, that's my passion right now.
Okay.
Little concept with Art Development Concepts.
Good shit.
I got my label Beagle Records, doing licensing and publishing and stuff. I own all my masters and stuff, except for my first project. And right. What else? Still writing, producing, living, evolving gracefully.
What?
You know?
Hey, that's what it
taking
is.
a page from your entrepreneurial book.
Hey, it's all love with 2 V's, baby. With 2 V's, all love,
baby.
Y'all crazy.
But that's what it is. It's just a pleasure to have you here, first of all. But what do you think about today's music, Brahma? You know what I mean? The little Uzi Verts, the little Yachties, you know what I mean?
I think that, in the state and the climate of society right now, that's the contribution of artists is a reflection of it, because art is the expression of life. So wherever we are currently as a people, wherever we are currently as far as humanity is concerned, then the music and the art and all that's going to reflect that. But in terms of the traditional standpoint of hip-hop, as we know it from the beginning stages to what it is now, it is what it is. When we were just coming up and coming out, it was a lot of people that, same thing with rock and roll, same thing with the jazz movement and all those different music genres before ours dominated the planet. The older generations, or the generations prior to that, all thought that it wasn't valid. But that's the voice of the youth, and that's the voice of the youth. I respect it. That's what I think about it. I think that I'd rather see our youth doing something constructive with their time as opposed to being in the streets, hand in hand and doing whatever in the trap. You know what I mean? So if they're doing something constructive with their time, then I applaud that. But I would like to see more camaraderie between the seasoned artists that understand what the culture of hip-hop stands for. From a traditional standpoint, I like to see more mentorship with youth. So that's what I think about that whole thing.
Okay. Definitely makes sense. It shit makes sense, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, shit gotta make sense, and you make sense,
Yeah, it's just sometimes I think a lot of the people, you understand what your position is in the whole dynamic of business and the culture of hip-hop. Mine is that I had a gift of articulation and translation. So if I see a thing coming from both worlds, from humble beginnings and then from a corporate standpoint, my job is to make that palatable to people, make that, people be able to understand it from a very general standpoint. We supposed to meet each other eye to eye,
True.
So that's how I look at the whole thing.
True. Oh man, we blessed, man. We blessed. We got Bahamadia in the building.
Yeah.
As far as
how do you feel like you had your own little show on the music, on the radio side, and on the other side of the chair? You weren't an artist. How you feel about that side, the radio side of it?
The radio side from the business and music standpoint, again, there's 2 different dynamics. If you're talking about the culture of hip-hop, that's us passionately doing what we do, whether we got deals, whether the camera's on us, whether we got a team behind us, or we doing it independently. You know what I mean? But if you're talking about the business of music, then, you're talking about mainstream radio, you're talking about local support and that kind of thing. It's all about the marketing standpoint from a mainstream standpoint. Mass media don't have nothing to do with the artistry, and I learned that firsthand programming and doing my own show.
How did you cross over? How did you get from there to there?
How did I get from there? I seized the opportunity. I'm from the streets. People like us, we come from nothing, so any opportunity that you get that's better than the one you had before that, you're gonna make it work. That's why I never complained about You know how artists get put on from other artists, and then they get mad or they get sour when it don't work out there. But somebody provided you with an opportunity of a lifetime that you never would have had. So you got to that's your responsibility to get educated and find out how to maneuver and make that lane work for you. You know, I haven't had a legal job. I only had 3 legal jobs in my whole life. You know what I mean? So just coming from that and deciding I was going to do something, a single parent, or 2, coming from the hood, you know, and then becoming like a household name at some point in my life is a feat within itself.
Preach.
Especially coming out of the crack era, because you know that was our era, was when crack was dominating. So that's a feat right there. You know what I mean? So this to answer you, you know, simply, yeah. I mean, it always is what it was, but it was an opportunity I just seized because I could. I didn't even know nothing about radio. It was this cap that got me.
That was dope.
You know, and then you learn. You get in there and you just learn. You sink and you swim.
True. That's what I'm talking about, right?
I feel you. We got Bahamadia on the Glocawear radio show, dropping nothing but jewels. So how do you feel as far as like the independent, as far compared to like when everybody was signed, you know what I mean, and you needed a major, you know what I mean? Do you think it's an advantage now for the artists?
That's the thing, is that you found out once you got the deal that you never needed the major. The majors need us. Well, they ain't gonna be in business. What they did back then. Once I found out, again, the business of music, my thing was I never understood how if I saved the money and I bought a car, or if I saved the money and I bought a house, my name is on the lease, my name is on the title, my name is on the lease of their house or the title of their home too. If I put my money up to it, then how come if I'm writing my material, how come that's not my material? How come I don't own the masters and it came from my brain and my heart? So I knew I wasn't going to stay at that bottom level right then and there. My thing was just get in the door. But, you know, and then entrepreneur, being a hip-hopper and from the streets, you're going to be had an entrepreneurial spirit, you know what I mean? Look at y'all, like, y'all like one of the pioneers, and like, when I travel, I see like the Bay Area is an example of it. Atlanta now, it's a couple more areas, and I think the West Coast have really mastered the DIY model, meaning like do it yourself, put your own stuff out. But in Philadelphia, in the tri-state, I mean, y'all been doing this forever. How long y'all been doing this?
Since 2001.
You know what I mean? So, but
years.
that's the spirit of hip hop, and that's how y'all expressed it through ownership and black men owning businesses and stuff like that. You know.
True.
So it's the same thing on my spectrum. It's just that I just found the lane that I was able to dominate in at that time and sustain by myself.
Okay. So what are you pushing now? Like I heard you got some mean production going on.
Yeah, I got this series called Dialed Up, which I've been doing music production. Well, I studied percussion at Settlement House of Music in my youthful years.
Okay.
And then once my parents divorced and stuff like that, I started getting into like DJing and stuff like that from their production. But I've been doing a mobile production for the last probably about 8 or 9 years now. Meaning that I take my smartphone, my phone, and I do beats and stuff like that. I did a whole album like that in my car, probably, I don't know, a couple years ago. It started trending on Twitter because somebody didn't believe that I did it. It ain't even. It's not even new. It's not even new wave. It's just that coming from nothing for something. When you got an opportunity to make something great, you don't have no failure. Is not an option when you got tools. You just make it work. You know, you just don't have an option for it not to work. So that's what that kind of happens. And then I wanted to prove that you don't need like 40 or 50 stacks to have a full-fledged studio to do quality music. You just need an idea. You know how like back in the day when you did music or you did especially hip-hop, it was just in your bedroom. It's just at your people's basement and stuff like that. Right. That same theory, but it's just new age with the technology. You know, so that's what I'm working on. It's called Dialed Up. And the first one I did it's all improv, all I did everything on the fly, all the production, mixed it, mastered everything in my car. And then the next one I got, yes, I'll give it to you. And the next one I have is with guests, so I got other people on there. Because when I post up my stuff on my social media, people was commenting, asking for inboxing me about the beats. And So I just, well, you know, I got some good with solid relationships, so I started, you know, having people just be on them. So that'll be out in a few weeks. I'm finalizing this one now.
There it is. Well, you heard it first. Bahamadia, she's putting out them joints, and you know, anything she has, we definitely gonna blog on our site as well. So, you know, there it is, man. We got the legend in the building, man. We got Cousin Artie rock the party.
Bahamadia, I just want to say, is a first off hip hop lover.
Mm-hmm.
And a person that's been following music for a long time. You've always made Philly look good as well as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Thank
a lot
you.
of legend tours going around right now. When will Philly or anywhere be able to see you hopefully perform again?
Well, I like to say consider myself a legacy artist. I appreciate the title legend or whatever, but to me, people that have had a legacy of selling like consistent albums, somebody like a Tina Marie, we talking about different genres of music, somebody like a Michael Jackson, they consider icons, but to some people they consider legends according to the accomplishments that they've had as business people and professional artists. So I consider myself to be a legacy artist. I don't participate in anything that promotes dating because I'm a prolific person, meaning that my artistry transcends time. So when I come out, I just come out and do what I do, and I just articulate whatever I'm experiencing at that time. You know, I just feel like, I mean, I'm happy for everybody that's working now, because it's hard sustaining your life off your art, especially with the internet and stuff now, and their labels, the way they're falling apart and all that. But I just don't, you know, attribute myself to that lane. But I respect, shout out to Roxanne, Shantae, Light, everybody that's eating and that's sustaining that part of history for our culture. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, we want you to know anything that you're doing right now. We definitely got the love and support from Glocawear Radio.
Whoa.
That means a lot too, because it means a lot, because at one time it was kind of frustrating to be embraced globally. Like, I've been around the world like at least, I'm on like my third passport, at least 3, almost 4 times in my lifetime. You know what I mean? And to go everywhere else on the planet and be embraced and be doing work that you could be doing at home, it's kind of heart-wrenching at one time, because each time you come back, you think if you feel lighter and you feel different, but you haven't, your circumstances haven't changed, but you've evolved to a higher consciousness. So that's a burden coming from nothing to something, and then you dealing with corporate people, billionaires, you doing all this, and then you coming home, you could jump on the train or whatever. Not the acknowledgement of people rolling the red carpet out, but having the leverage to make a difference in our communities, particularly for the youth. You know, look at the climate of what's going on right now. You know, and then now we got, you know, the Boring Office and all that. Like, it's getting crazy. It's gonna be crazier.
One more last question, then we're gonna go. The legendary DJ Too Tough from the Tough Crew, you put together a little ensemble of your music
that's
or
an
whatever.
honor.
You know what I'm saying? Kirk,
So then, what we talk about, so we can know what they
And
talk
shout
about.
out to Tough Crew, and shout out to everybody in Philly that's ever held some type of place in hip hop that has an authentic interpretation of our voices, genuine Philadelphians. Because, you know, a lot of people come here and they're not birthed in, I'm talking about people that are born and bred in Philadelphia, not people that transition through.
Culture vultures.
But I mean, you can't really blame them, because our history is so rich. We left such a mark on anything that we put our hands on. But I just like for it to see home. I like for us to, like these times, I like for people that have it's a reason why you guys, like when you Jigsaw, you G-Shop, it's the reason why y'all became regional, you know, staples in the city. It's the reason why me and the Roots and people like us was released to be on the international level. But that we just an extension of the voice at home, though. So we all need each other. Like, you know how you deal with people, like you see it in the Bay Area a lot. E40 is an icon out there. Now, he did make him equipping people, but it's like Mac Mall. There's a lot of different people that's out in their areas, that's the Jigsaws of their area, and they respect them on the same level, if not better. We all came up together. We was at what's it, the Buzz and all. We was coming up in the trenches together. So I just, for whatever divine reason, was appointed. That don't mean that I made it past the people that poured into me to help me be more encouraged to be who I was being as a representative for Philly, though.
Yeah.
So you can't lose sight of that, you know. But the money, the bright lights, the whole politics and the propaganda industry taints that for us. You know, we the last people to get our movement. We have never had a full movement in Philly for the culture of hip hop as much as we contributed to the world music scene.
True.
You know,
facts.
it's crazy.
Facts. Yup. Yo, it's crazy because I do want to play the mix or whatever, but the Bahamadia had this radio show in Philly, and me, Shad Bananas, we was we had a local rap group, and we used to hit up Bahamadia, like Bahamadia play our shit. One day we ride, I'm in Logan, that's in Philadelphia. I hear the shit blast off. I go fucking bananas. Like, that was the world to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a young boy, I'm whatever. You know what I mean? That was the world for you as a legend of hip hop to play our shit. That was
and not to feed into the propaganda of the politics and the bullshit that come with the industry to say, if you're not giving me a couple dollars, I'm not gonna play your stuff, or if you're not in my crew, I'm not gonna play your stuff. No, you my peers. So how am I gonna artistically? So how am I going to be at the Buzzer Boys at that time period? That was the most popping thing.
Yeah,
how am I going to be there and rub elbows with you, Yanti, all y'all, and then turn right back around and have that opportunity and act like y'all ain't exist? Like, that's corny. Especially when I'm not losing nothing, because I'm already sustained. I'm already you know, you're going to take care of yourself first and then come back, but you done did that already. Like, what's that, what you...
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Shout out to Bahamadia.
This is the way I think. Like, my art and it is even embedded in me even more. But that's factory equipment. Either you got that kind of heart or you don't. But I ain't mad at nobody that don't, because to each his own.
Right.
But I know it's a thing called karma, though.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But shout out to everybody that's out here. You know, even the newer generation of hip hoppers globally, though, because I know this internet. You know, just stand your ground, but educate yourself about the industry that you're entering into. You still got to do that and build some solid relationships, and don't forget the people. Take care of the people that took care of you.
Message.
Yeah,
well, all right, if anybody wants to get at you on the social media side, how could they get at you?
They can get me on this at Queen Bahamadia on Instagram, and B Girl Records and B Girl Records LLC @ on Instagram, and
International B Girl Bahamadia.
You're dropping too much up in there. Hold on.
I know, kind of sidetracked. It's weird. I still never get used to my own voice. Like, who go around listening to their own? Yeah. That's like, you ever forget your phone number like that? You be like, what's my? You don't call yourself, so why would you remember your last number? I'll be like, oh, who that lady?
But you have the smoothest voice, though.
Huh?
You have the smoothest voice.
Word.
I'll be chilling.
No, you have the smoothest voice.
That's where the balance came in. That's where the balance came in it, though, because I done lived so many different lives. And I remember when I was in the streets, when I first had my deal, I had like 2 open cases. It was a bunch of crazy stuff that people never knew about my life from that world, because it was an honor. That's why when people start like really, if there's no balance in promoting like the street side of hip hop,
right,
it's crazy, because people that really was about their life know that it was nothing. Your objective was to square up if you was in the streets. It wasn't never for you to be glamorizing that shit. That was a means of survival. But you got an opportunity. And I remember when you was considered a nut if you tried to do anything positive like hip hop. They be like, how you rap?
Right.
Unless you had. Right. You know, that was before street culture really got infused. Y'all know, because we from the same era. You was considered a nut if you did that. So now, well, how did the people that supposed to have been the cool A-list people, how they become the hip hoppers though?
The business and the money got involved in it.
That's exactly what happened, and it blurred the lines.
It bypassed talent and all that shit. There's money. Like, all right, fuck it, we can just push that and do whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but your actions not matching up to what you say your discography and your story is. Like, you know another authentic person.
Right. Real recognized real authentic.
Yeah. Right. A lot of people be sidelining, but that's a whole nother thing. But it's still the lane though.
We got the queen in the building.
Still the lane.
Bahama Dance.
It's still the lane.
Yeah, dropping mad jewels.
I ain't even trying to drop the jewels. I'm just so happy to be home and to be around people I know that wish the best for me.
Hey,
so I'm open to communicate. I love you. I appreciate y'all.
That's all love around here, baby. You already know. And like I said, any projects, anything you pushing, you know, send it our way. We're definitely reposting and pushing and blog and all that as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry for being late too, y'all. I had a session. I'm working. You know, Richmond. Shout out to Rich Medina too. working with him, we doing some things together, and I was at as we had a session, so it ran over.
Hey, business.
And I didn't want to call. I thought that was corny to call in.
Hey, business.
I owe you an apology too, because I've been giving you a hard time somewhat a little bit.
Nah, it's all
I was telling Leah, no, seriously. I was telling Leah that, you know, sometimes you could be traumatized in the industry too. You give so much of yourself to the wrong people sometimes, till you put everybody in the same box. And I had to learn, like, you know, okay, well, who are the people that been the realest with me throughout time? You one of the people that consistently have been there. You know, I just want to tell you that. Cause you don't know how long we gonna be. I ain't saying you going nowhere soon, but you never know. So I ain't trying to hold it in my heart. I appreciate you.
Hey, that's all love, baby. You about to make me cry in this motherfucker.
You crazy.
So on that note, man, we gonna go into this Bahamadia.
Take the Porsches off. Take the Porsches.
Nah.
Don't stain the glass on the Porsches, all right? Son.
Yeah, but
Porsches.
We really appreciate you coming through, you know what I mean?
Sure.
That's love. And it's real, too, like, you know what I mean? So, we hit us up, man. We still rocking. We still live. 267-888-6019. Screenshot your phones if you're rocking with us. You know what I mean? We got Bahamadia in the building, man. Salute. Back in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Salute DJ Too Tough with that Bahamadia mix right there, you know what I'm saying? You know.
That's right, all them hits.
And then all the blessings too is like, you know, how many people get Too Tough to do a special mix for him though, for real?
Hey, you know, he a legend. He be doing this thing, you know what I mean?
He was happy to do it.
Definitely was. You know what I mean?
I mean, one time I was in Australia. I got blessed to tour with James Brown just before he passed. And it was me, Z-Trip, Supernatural, all of us, Talib, everybody. We was in Australia. And out of the blue, they talking about Philly DJs, because you know we always dominated with DJing. So they all look up to him. They all look up to all the DJs. And then Z-Trip like, I'm trying to get in touch with Too Tough. I'm like, what? We inbox and we talk on Twitter or whatever, and then passed the contacts or whatever. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I was so honored that, you know, that his name came up, because you know it's so many people that, like, again, he another person that's unsung in the industry, but that left an indelible mark on the DJing game. I respect Jeff and Cash Money and everybody. But it's the Lightning Riches. It's a lot of people that been out.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Disco Red. We got a lot of our own people, and they never got. We got. I love co-working, but we got our own co-works and all that.
It was we was just watching a document, not a fucking the Drink Champions and shit. KRS-One bigging up Philly, like.
Yeah, you know he used to record here.
He like, man, Philly don't get their right props, like.
He said New York. He said back then, he said New York, you had to make the song. You had to blow up in New York, and you went down to Philly.
Yeah.
He said then the Philly was hitting, then you'll come back and go to Connecticut and Boston. He said everybody in New York had to come to Philly, and Philly had to, you know, put the stamp on it. It was hot.
And they broke him at the Lady B broke him on the air, and then they got broke live performances at the Midnight and the Win and all that. And if you got booed there, it just wasn't gonna happen.
Right, exactly. That's what he said.
Glocawear Radio.
That's crazy. At least he ain't forget.
Exactly. That's what he was like. Damn. Okay, he just put them props out there.
Cause you remember Pop Art was from out here, so that's why they cut all their records and shot. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's dope though.
It's dope.
We need a movie. I remember.
Unsung.
But Charlie Mack was supposed to been working on a movie or something. Him and Lux, I think.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
working on a Philly movie or something.
I mean, as far as like what as far as like Philly, like, do you like our camaraderie? Sometimes I be thinking our camaraderie be missing. Like, you know what I mean? People
need to. I don't even want to be vulgar, but some people, like, you gotta the internet. The internet thing got people thinking that they bigger than they actually are. It's the difference between being a national artist, a regional artist, a national artist, an international artist, and a world artist. Like, if you had that kind of impact and consistency in selling units, doing tours, being seasoned and cultured to be a professional artist, that's one thing. But for you to have a local following and then it translate into somewhat of a following on a virtual world with the social media platforms, that don't equate to the legacy of you with somebody that's been in the game 20 years plus that's consistently doing something.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that needs to stop. But also the crab in the barrel thing, that's done got even worse now since the time when we first came out. It's like, all the beefing and arguing and all this is like, especially for the men. We ain't got too many men more in our community, especially masculine men. So now y'all arguing and all that, and y'all the future of, our whole legacy as a people. That like that right there. That's crazy.
We had DJ Deluxe. He called up and shout out and gave you a shout out.
What's up?
You and Too Tough.
Okay, how you doing, Deluxe? Thank you.
The thing is, like, as far as like, would you do music with like a up and coming artist, like
It depends. I'm not unbiased in doing collaborations, but the synergy got to be right because it's spiritual to me. It ain't about the budget. It ain't about none of that. I'm about my bread though, but it ain't the end all, the be all. I can't be sold just because you got a budget and you give me my rate, then I'm going to be on some song with you. Because it could be somebody that I just felt you, and I felt in my soul that you the person that I should just mentor like that, and you just was dope, and the concept and music and everything was right, and it just happened organically.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm open. I'm always accessible and open to that possibility. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let nobody whore me or just like exploit me as an artist or as a commodity, established commodity. Because people will do that. They try to like build relationships with you on that level just to get you to do a favor for them, to exploit, to elevate their brand.
You're right.
So I've been around the block, so I understand all of that. Like, no. Yeah. But am I open to, for my collage anniversary, last year it turned 20 years, the day before my birthday, and I had Lean Bean. My ears to the street, so I know what the extension of my energy, my contribution. I know what it's breeding now. Okay. Because I'm a fan of the music. Yeah. So you'll never know who I got in my car, what I'm listening to.
My next question: who you listening to when you will?
I'm listening to everything. I'm listening to jazz, classical. Gosh. Right now, I've been listening to Herbie Man a lot. I've been listening to that and some Earth, Wind, and Fire a little bit. Just the horn section. You don't hear horns. Horns is real regal and royal. We royal people, so I want to hear that brass and.
Yeah, what about the J's?
Real instruments. You want to hear some real instruments?
Yeah, real instruments. I don't mind the program stuff. I mess with that too, but that's what I've been listening to. Soul music.
Okay. Yeah.
But it depends on my mood.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. We got Bahamadia in the building, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's official. That's what we do up here. Smell the freshness, man. You know what I mean?
You crazy.
Man, anything else you gotta blast off before because like I said, shit, I'm in here with my pen and pad. So all y'all artists, y'all better be out there. You know what I mean? Taking notes, lessons. You know what I'm saying? Just advice, because this is good advice she's passing off here. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like industry, music. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a perspective, though, from learning.
Yeah,
I wasn't always this insightful.
Yeah, listen, I told somebody, I seen an Instagram post that said, to become a master, you got to fail as many times as another person that tried.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I done fucked up so many T-shirts that it's crazy, like, you know what I mean? So.
Exactly. Another one is that a wise man can admit that they know nothing at all. Meaning I'm always a student. I'm always evolving and growing and learning and humble enough to listen when you want that attention.
True.
But what I want to say is that support what's real, y'all. Be your authentic selves. Educate yourselves. Build solid relationships. And try to love. That's the most important thing. Let your actions be rooted in love more times than not. But everybody better get they hustle. Like, you better get some type of stream, some type of entrepreneur business going on, because you see what's happening in their office.
It's on. The time is ticking. When Trump is in office, you gotta manipulate your time right, and
you gotta figure out a way. You gotta figure out a way to sustain yourself, because now it's more evident that we're gonna need each other as a people and as a community to survive in these years to come. Right. Don't be afraid. Just be prepared or get prepared.
Right. Yeah. Yo, you saying all the right things. I'm so proud of you.
I ain't even trying to say the right thing. This is just me. This what I do.
It's just there's so many niggas come up here, females, males. They come up and they be on their Uncle Bunga John, like sounding like they want to know what they talking about, but really don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? And,
that's all the who you associate with, though. You know,
I
so that's
mean,
why you open your platform up to diversity, because now you got you'll have a balance of people coming in and showing. Sometimes people need to be shown. It's not that they don't want to do it. You need to be shown.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. I'm writing all this down. The Glocawear Radio
Get out of
Show.
here.
It's official. This is what we do each and every Thursday, man.
True.
We about to play some more music. Could you give them your all your socials one more time? All your social media?
Instagram is at Queen Bahamadia, at B Girl Records, at B Girl Records LLC. At Twitter is at Bahamadia, at B Girl Records LLC, and the site is bgirlrecords.com. Shout out to LC Designs too, Brianna, Dave Ghetto, everybody.
Yo, the smoothest voice in the game, Bahamadia. Thank you so much, baby.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate y'all.
So,
Yeah.
it's all love.
Yep.
Smell the freshness. We see you on the other side. The Glocawear Radio Show.
We're not done.
We're not done.